All right, here's what we'll do. We're going to do our read aloud. And if we still have time, some of you still have time, I'll let you keep sharing. But I do need to do this for all of our friends that are not here. All right? So for today, we are going to reread our story. And then your challenge is to retell the story to somebody at home. So we're going to read our book. We'll talk about our 5-finger retell. And then you guys can go ahead and tell the story to somebody. Look at that puppy dog. Look at this puppy dog. Okay, Peyton, we'll see you next time on Tuesday.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
This was, bye, a sick day for Amos McGee. A sick day for Amos McGee. Amos McGee was an early riser. Every morning when the alarm clock clanged, he swung his legs out of bed and swapped his pajamas for a fresh pressed uniform. He would wind his watch and set a pot of water to boil, saying to the sugar bowl, "A spoonful for my oatmeal, please, and 2 for my teacup." Belly full and ready for the workday, he'd amble out the door. Every day, Amos waited for the number 5 bus. "Next stop, City Zoo," the bus driver would call. 6 a.m., right on time, he'd reply. Amos had a lot to do at the zoo, but he always made time to visit his friends. I'm thinking of those questions as we read, trying to remember all the characters. He would play chess with the elephant, who thought and thought before making a move. Run races with the tortoise, who never ever lost. Sit quietly with the penguin, who was very shy. Lend a handkerchief to the rhinoceros, who always had a runny nose. And at sunset, read stories to the owl, who was afraid of the dark. One day, Amos awoke with the sniffles and the sneezes and the chills. He swung his achy legs out of bed, curled them back again, and said, "Ugh, I don't think I'll be going to work today." Meanwhile, at the zoo, the animals waited for their friend. The elephant arranged his pawns and polished his castles. The tortoise stretched his legs and limbered up. The penguin sat patiently all by himself. The rhinoceros worried that his allergies were worsening. The owl perched atop a tall stack of storybooks, scratching his head with concern. "Where is Amos?" the animals wondered. Later that day, now as good readers, we're always thinking, even though we've read this book before, if we can remember everything that happens next with details, like where the animals are sitting on the bus. Hooray! My good friends are here. Now I'm thinking, what did they do? The elephant prepared a game of chess. Amos thought and thought before making a move. "I'm too tired to run races today," said Amos to the tortoise. "Let's play hide and seek instead." The tortoise hid inside his shell. Amos hid beneath the covers. Amos yawned. "I could use a nap." The penguin sat quietly, keeping Amos's feet warm. Achoo! Amos awoke with a sneeze. The rhinoceros was ready with a handkerchief. "I'm beginning to feel much better, thank you," said Amos to his friends. He swung his legs out of bed. "Perhaps we'll share a pot of tea." Amos wound his alarm clock. "It's getting late," he said. "After all, we have a morning bus to catch." So Amos said goodnight to the elephant, and goodnight to the tortoise, and goodnight to the penguin, and goodnight to the rhinoceros, and goodnight to the owl, who, knowing that Amos was afraid of the dark, read a story aloud before turning out the light. And that is the end. So, if we're thinking about our 5-finger retell, we're going to have our retelling rhino help us out as we think about all the parts of our story. On our thumb, we have what? Who are we talking about? When we retell our story. Good. Characters. Character. And Luke, do you want to tell us what's on our pointer finger? Character.
Setting.
Good. Setting. There's our setting. Eli, do you know what's on the middle finger? Character setting.
Middle.
Not middle. Before we talk about the middle of the story, we need to talk about the
Beginning.
beginning. Very good. The beginning. Juliet, after we talk about the beginning of the story, what do we talk about? The middle. Very good. The middle. And last but not least, Brinley, what do we talk about? Character setting, beginning, middle. What's the last thing you talk about in the story? We talked about the beginning, what happened at the beginning. We talked about what happened in the middle. Now we talk about what happens in the... Ryan, help us out. The end. Thank you. The end. All right. So we've reread our story. We've read it twice now, over 3 days. So your goal, your challenge, is to retell the story to somebody at home, talking about the beginning, when Amos went to the zoo the first time. Who were his friends? How did he get there? In the middle, Amos woke up sick one day. So what happened? What did the animals do? And at the very end, when Amos was feeling better, what happened then? What did he and the animals do? Oh, 1, 2, 3. That one. Okay? All right, friends, that's it for today. We are all done.
Bye.